Okay, so we're now here at 4701 Lee Avenue in the crawl space because that debris was blocking the access from the vent into the sewer line here. So we're looking right now at the original cast iron, and this is right underneath the bathroom. So what you're seeing right there is actually the toilet drain, and then it continues up through the floorboards to become the vent, which is that ABS vent that we were on the rooftop where that mesh screen is caught in. So we've come into the crawl space, and because the original clean out access is original brass, we had to cut the top off just to get an access. So now we've got a direct drop into the 4-inch cast iron vent here, drain, and this sewer line is running down at about a 45-degree angle. Got a little bit of string or dental floss there. Now we've made a corrected 45-degree angle here. Here's picking up 4-inch T combo. Right now there's very little buildup or deposits on the cast iron right now, so it looks pretty good. You can see we've got some white debris, which looks like toilet paper on the side walls there, kind of hanging here and here. And you kind of look to the upper right side there, it looks like there might be some flaking of the cast iron line. We'll have to come back and look with another camera just to see if that is starting to flake and fall apart, or if that's just a line. We can see a little white line here that may have been from standing water from a stoppage, and that's why when I see that white debris so high up on the pipe, on such a flat pipe that's perfectly horizontal, I suspect that maybe the sewer main had backed up or clogged and was catching and snagging on those little pieces of a flaking pipe. But again, overall, the pipe still looks good to this point. A bit of cobweb debris just hanging in the line there. Okay, here we've come to almost the end of the property. This is a Y junction that's right at the property line cleanout, just where the edge of the landscaping on the front yard stops. So we're going to be making a transition turn downwards here into a vertical pipe. So now we're running down this 4-inch cast iron, and eventually here in a little bit we'll make another turn and become another horizontal pipe as we run out into the city. So here's our turn. We're transitioning from the vertical back to horizontal. A little bit of water and debris there getting in the face of the camera. Kind of pushing some sludge with us as we go here. So you can see there's a little bit of water on the bottom. So we're going to try to push through this. Okay, we're getting hung up here. We've either got a real bad pocket of debris on the bottom of the line there, or we're just hitting something else in the system here that's not allowing our camera to go through. So we're going to go ahead and pause the recording and go ahead, and since there's another clean-out access closer, of course, to that spot we're at, we're going to try to access it from that point to push through this tough area that we're at right now. So we're going to pause the recording. Okay, so we're now here at this property line clean-out. Same thing, we've got some heavy white caked up debris, which appears to be the residue from a possible stoppage that occurred at one time. We're headed back down this vertical pipe again. Now we're making that transition into the horizontal, which we couldn't get by earlier because of the buildup or debris. And definitely encountering some heavy resistance here. So we're going to go ahead and run some water through the system really quick to try to clean this out. I suspect we either have some root intrusion or some other blockage occurring on the line right here. So we're going to pause the recording. Okay, so we've pushed our camera all the way out to the end. So what we're looking at right now is the connection into the city. And we're going to go ahead and pull back in reverse here. We flushed the toilet a couple times to get water to clean off the camera head here. So we're coming back now in reverse through this line. And again, we have very limited vision here on this piping. Hardly seeing anything through the system. Appears to have a belly to the line, so we can see water and debris just kind of floating around the face of our camera right now. It's because there's not proper slope to the line, essentially. The other thing that can cause this is some heavy buildup of roots or some other debris in the line that's damming up the water or debris. But I've got no indicators right now as I push forward. It's smooth pushing out, completely easy. So it appears that there is just a sag or a belly to the pipe, which is improper slope. It's required to have a 1/4 inch of fall per foot. I'm pulling back through a little bit of a firm area right now. Again, we still have very little visual, so right there you can see we finally have come out of that. So you can see the debris and buildup on the line right there. And we're about to come back up to the vertical. So this is our vertical. This is all this caked up flaking debris of the cast iron that's literally falling apart. So that's what you're looking at there, is all the little flakes. Literally the walls of the pipe are corroding and crumbling, and that's what that heavy debris is. And then that's damming up some of the water behind it right there. Now as we push forward, we're losing our image, so we're going to go ahead and try to put a centering guide on the end of our camera head to lift it off the bottom of the pipe to see if we get a better visual. So we're going to pause the recording. Okay, we have a centering guide around the camera now to hopefully get by this area and lift it off to get a better view as to why we have all this holding water. So here you can see we have all this standing water in the system, which is not proper, and this is going to cause major issues with blockages and buildup. Okay, so I've got this plastic centering guide which isn't that large. Obviously, I entered the 3.5 inch little access point, actually 3.25 inch access point, and goes into the 4 inch pipe. But it's much smaller than that, and unfortunately, I cannot get by this area that I'm pushing at right now. So whatever's going on, we have a major issue with the pipe right here that's leading to one, this small 2 inch diameter push camera head to not be able to get through and causing this belly to the pipe. So we're going to pull back the camera, try with a little bit smaller centering guide, see if we can get through still and see anything else. Other than that, we'll go ahead and locate this area to see where it's at and how deep it is, because it looks like it's going to require some repair. Okay, here's the small centering guide that we used. Here's the lid to get in, so you can see how much smaller that guide is, and that's unable to push through the sewer system at all. So we've got a very large pipe. I've got a smaller centering guide. We're going to go ahead and see if we can now get through. Here's all this white debris. That's toilet paper and other stuff that was backed up on the line is dried up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make this transition. We're back in the horizontal line. See this large debris in the system here. So again, we're going underwater. Now we're completely locking up right here. We can barely get this small centering guide through this area. And this is underneath a vehicle that's parked in the front here. It's in the city street. It is approximately around 3 feet deep or so. We can't get our locator there because the vehicle's in the way. But there's some type of issue going on. So the sewer line at this point is going to require some repair to get this operating and functioning at a proper level for somebody to reside in here, based on what we're finding here. So we cannot get by this area without a centering guide. So when the camera goes through, as you can see, we're just seeing floating water and stuff standing by. So it's definitely not draining out. It definitely has a sag. And the largest diameter we were able to punch through this was 1 inch. And we couldn't get anything larger than that to push through there. So the centering guide we have right now is barely 1.5 inches in diameter. And this is a 4 inch pipe. So there is an issue. So that concludes this recording.